quick question. How do I breathe when I do pulling and pushing motions unilaterally? In general, what's taught, or what some people teach, is anytime you're pulling or when you're bringing your arm back and your spine or your thorax is extending, you want to inhale, and then when you bring that arm forward and reach into flexion, you want to exhale. In general, but that's not the golden rule. Okay, so for example, what if someone, the back of their ribs or their back in general is biased more towards an extension pattern like this, where there's increased amount of compression in their back, meaning they can't open their ribs, they can't round out as well, okay? And so there's 12 pairs of ribs left and right. They can't open up. Those lungs underneath those ribs can't expand as well as when they breathe in. So if you're always biasing towards breathing in as you pull, you're creating even more extension. And because the diaphragm is an inspiratory muscle as well as a postural stabilizer muscle, it's biased towards the extension. So when we breathe in, the ribs are supposed to open up. When we breathe out, the ribs are supposed to go down. Breathe in, breathe out. So if you're always breathing in as you bring the arm back, such as in a single arm cable row, you're biasing more of this extension, okay? Because when you breathe in, diaphragm contracts, it's biased towards extension of the spine, just because of its attachments. And then with your breath in, even though the ribs, the lungs want to open up, you're positioning yourself of the rib cage into more extension, or just closing down. So this inhale as you pull, exhale as your arm goes forward, in general, that might be promoting more of a limited patterning, preventing someone to get a fuller expansion of the rib cage as they breathe in and as they move, such as with pulling motions. So, what do I do? That's the question. Next question. How do I breathe? Well, it really depends, and that's the classic clinician type of answer, because it depends on the situation, depends on the individual. So, for example, it's very common. We all have some degree of scoliosis, to some degree, where one side might be rotated towards, more towards one direction at certain levels of the spine. So let's say, for example, the left upper back might be more closed or extended, and the right upper back might be more open, okay, in the back. So when I breathe in and pull, it might be appropriate with a right arm pull. I breathe in, exhale. But on the left, I wouldn't do that, because if you do that, they're already extended on the back, and the ribs, because they go 360 around us, if the back is closed, the front's going to be open. So if I breathe in as I pull the arm back, I'm just reinforcing that scoliosis. So what I do in those cases, after a good assessment, is I would have them breathe in with their arm in front of them, exhale as they pull back. That way, we're opposing their bias, where they extend with their arms back. So I'm exhaling as they pull back, but I'm inhaling as they pull forward, right? So this way, I'm promoting those ribs to go in the opposite direction of what they habitually tend to. Don't expect you to understand it all, but it's food for thought. Don't always take what people like me or any teacher, expert, or whoever, clinician, doctor, therapist, trainer, whoever, don't take it as like the word of God. They have experience, they have expertise, but we're all human, and everything has context behind it, and it all depends.